in her greed, decided to get rid of Lena so she could have all the gold coins for herself. Once upon a time, there was a little village surrounded by big, green forest. In this village lived a young girl named Lena. She was beautiful and kind, always helping others. Lena lived with her father because her mother had died when she was just a baby. Her father loved her very much and took good care of her. One day, Lena's father met a woman from another village. She seemed kind and sweet. So he married her, thinking Lena would have a new mother to love her. But the new stepmother was not kind at all. She was cruel and only pretended to be nice to marry Lena's father. After the wedding, the stepmother started showing her true colors. She made Lena do all the housework. Lena had to clean, cook, and fetch water from the river, while her stepmother and her daughters did nothing but sit and eat. Despite all the hard work, Lena never complained. She always tried to stay cheerful and kind. One day, while Lena was fetching water from the river, she met an old woman in the forest. The old woman looked tired and hungry. Lena, being kind-hearted, shared her food with the old woman and helped her drink some water. The old woman was very grateful and said, "You are very kind, Lena. Always remember, kindness is a gift that never fades." A few days later, Lena found a beautiful flower blooming in her garden. It had petals like gold and smelled wonderful. When she touched it, the flower turned into a small bag of gold coins. Lena was amazed and happy. She thought about what the old woman said and realized that her kindness was being rewarded. The stepmother became very jealous. When she saw the gold coins, she asked Lena where she got them, but Lena did not tell her about the old woman. The stepmother, in her greed, decided to get rid of Lena so she could have all the gold coins for herself. She planned to take Lena deep into the forest and leave her there. One day, the stepmother took Lena to the forest, pretending they were going to collect berries. When they were deep in the forest, the stepmother told Lena to wait while she went to find more berries. Lena waited and waited, but her stepmother never came back. She realized she had been left alone in the forest. Lena was scared, but she remembered the old woman's words and stayed brave. She walked and walked until she found a small hut. The old woman lived there. Lena told her what happened, and the old woman took her in, giving her food and a place to sleep. Back in the village, the stepmother told Lena's father that Lena had run away. He was heartbroken and searched for her everywhere but could not find her. The stepmother, thinking Lena was gone forever, started looking for the flower that turned into gold coins. But she could not find it. The villagers started noticing the stepmother's cruelty. They saw how she treated her own daughters and how she always lied. Eventually, they stopped trusting her and helped Lena's father realize the truth. Lena lived happily with the old woman, who taught her many things about the forest and the animals. One day, Lena decided to visit her village and see her father. When Lena came back to the village, everyone was happy to see her. Her father was so glad and hugged her tight. The villagers were also happy but angry at Lena's stepmother. They now knew the truth about how she treated Lena. One day, all the villagers gathered and went to Lena's house. They told the stepmother she had to leave the village with her daughters. They were being punished for being mean and lying. The stepmother and her daughters cried and begged, but the villagers did not listen. They were very angry and wanted justice for Lena. The stepmother and her daughters had to leave the village with nothing. They had only the clothes they were wearing. The villagers made sure they walked far away from the village. The stepmother and her daughters were very scared because they had never been alone in the forest before. The forest was dark and cold. The stepmother and her daughters were used to sleeping in soft beds, but now they had to sleep on the hard ground. They were hungry, but there was no food. They were scared of the strange noises in the forest. The next morning, they tried to find food. They looked for berries and roots to eat, but they didn't know which ones were safe. They were very hungry and tired. The daughters cried a lot and blamed their mother for everything. The stepmother tried to keep her daughter safe, but it was very hard. They walked all day, hoping to find a safe place. Finally, they found an old, broken hut. It was falling apart, but it was better than nothing. They moved into the hut and tried to fix it up. Living in the forest was very hard. The stepmother and her daughters were always hungry and cold. They had to work together to survive. The daughters were not used to working and complained a lot. The stepmother felt very sad and guilty for what she had done. Every day was a struggle. They had to find food and water. They had to fix the hut and keep it clean. They learned to make a fire to stay warm at night. Slowly, they started to work together better, but it was still very hard. The stepmother thought a lot about what she had done. She knew it was her greed and cruelty that had caused all their problems. She wished she could go back and be kind to Lena. She felt very sorry and cried many nights. One day, while looking for food, the stepmother saw the old woman who had helped Lena. The old woman saw the stepmother and knew she was in trouble. The stepmother fell to her knees and begged for help. She cried and told the old woman how sorry she was. The old woman saw that the stepmother was truly sorry. She gave them some food and showed them how to find more. She told the stepmother that to make things right, she had to be kind and help others. The stepmother listened to the old woman. She started to help other people who got lost in the forest. She gave them food and showed them the way out. She taught her daughters to be kind and to help too. Even though they never went back to the village, the stepmother and her daughters found a new way to live. They learned that being kind and helping others made them feel better. They were still poor and had to work hard, but they felt happier because they were doing good things. The people who traveled through the forest started to tell stories about the kind family who helped them. The stepmother and her daughters became known for their kindness. They learned that being kind was the best way to live even if it was hard. The moral of the story is, kindness is a gift that never fades. Being kind to others can bring great rewards, and being greedy will always lead to trouble. Always choose kindness and love, no matter how hard life gets. The stepmother learned this lesson the hard way, but it helped her become a better person.